Well, we're back in a soybean field near Alvord, Iowa. I'm with my farmer friend named Lance, and this is his field. Lance, I want to thank you for your hospitality and for inviting me onto your farm here today. We're doing our 2013 Midwest Crop Tour, and Iowa is a big growing corn and bean state. Lance, your beans look pretty healthy and pretty good here. When were they planted?
These were planted right at May 20th.
May 20th, okay. So
yep.
for this time of for this year, anyways, they were maybe a little bit later, but on average, not too late. And have you been pretty dry lately? Did you get some moisture?
We've been dry probably the last 3 weeks. There's a dew in the morning. Seems like give the plants a break. The stuff looks pretty good overall, but we could use a drink.
Temperatures have been averaging what,
upper 80s,
maybe low 90s lately here as we travel. Not sure that's doing a lot of damage, like Lance said. Probably the western. This is probably considered the western corn belt.
Oh yeah.
So that western corn belt's been dry, so we probably need a drink, particularly on the corn. The beans are a little bit later planted crop, so we can probably wait till August. But that corn behind us is not corn that's tasseling, unfortunately. That is sweet corn, but we'll go check out one of his cornfields that looks pretty good too, and it's probably a week away from tasseling and eventually pollinating. Thanks, Lance, for showing us your soybean field. Well, we're now in Lance's cornfield, one of the cornfields he owns here in Iowa, and we've seen a lot of cornfields through South Dakota, Nebraska, now here Iowa, and this is some of the better corn that I've seen traveling across these 3 states. Lance, you told me earlier, I think you planted, was it mid-May, this corn?
Yeah, it was right around the 15th. 18th.
Okay, so it looks like from what I see, it's got some pretty good root structure.
Yeah, it does. We do strip tillage, and I'm pretty pleased with how things are looking. As far as
this is probably what, a week away from tasseling?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Thanks for your time and your hospitality. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned as we show you more videos as we travel north and east across the 3 I-states: Iowa, Illinois, Indiana. We're also going to travel into Minnesota as well over the next few days. Well, welcome back. We're day 4 of our tour, U.S. Midwest Crop Tour here in southern Iowa. We're near Melrose, Iowa, and I have a farmer friend named Dave here, and we're looking at his corn field. We are seeing some tassels here. You can barely see it, just almost coming out now. Probably 4 or 5 days away from tasseling. Dave, a lot of people have been saying that it's been pretty dry here in Iowa the month of July. Is that correct?
That's correct.
When was the last time we got rain?
It was probably the latter part of June.
Yeah. So,
any measurable rain was latter part of June.
So you can see that if you can scan on the corn here, you can see that it's kind of rolling over and spiking like a pineapple. That's being stressed by the dryness. This is one of the hottest days on our tour yet, 35, 36 degrees Celsius. That's about 95, 96 degrees Fahrenheit. Forecasters are calling for cooler temps this weekend into next week, but we'll have to wait and see. The next 10 days we better get some rain. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's
that you're thinking this is probably going to tassel next 4 or 5 days?
I would say, yeah. I'd say next week.
And then pollinate the week after?
Yeah.
So the next 10 days is critical. We'll need some rain. The entire state of Iowa, if they don't get any rain next 10 days, which a lot of the forecasters are calling for, total precipitation through the month of July in Iowa could be as low as last year. And you know what happened last year. So there's still some risk to this crop. It looks good on the surface, but we're not over that hump yet. It's day 8 of the 2013 U.S. Midwest Crop Tour. We're in Ohio, And I want to thank my sponsor, Pride Seed. And we're kind of, I think we're just south of Springfield, Ohio.
Yep.
And I got my friend farmer here named Charles. Charles, thank you for having us, and thank you for your hospitality and time. And we're sitting in front of one of his cornfields. Charles, when was this corn planted?
We planted all our corn the first week of May. So this is around May 7th would be this planting.
And that's typically early, on time?
Right on time. We try and we really want to get in by May 10th. So last week of April, first week of May is perfectly fine for us.
And I've said earlier in some of my prior videos that it looks like Ohio, Indiana kind of top 1, 2, number 1, number 2 in terms of best looking corn across our tour. And you know, this is really good. It's day 8. It's July 22nd, 2013, and now we're in front of Charles' soybean field here in Ohio. You said earlier too, though, a lot of these fields, I mean, there's some unevenness as you look at your field. Too much moisture.
Yeah, parts of this farm we're standing on, it's a very flat farm, but parts have been underwater 3 times. We've just had, you know, torrential rain, and then more comes the next week.
So put you on the spot, what do you think this will yield?
I don't know. You're open 60, 70 bushels.
60, that's pretty good, folks. That's usually above average than what the national average is, at that 40, 44. So.
Yeah, well, I would expect to be above the national average. We've got a chance at a great crop.
Well, thanks, Charles.
Not a problem.